Sonic News! A new show appears! It's super effective! I am SSF. Bye. Pull my finger, please. Please? No? Screw you. I was polite. Ugh.
Welcome to SonicNews.
Live from the magnificent state of Virginia, here's your host, the news dude of Sonic Paradox, Sonic Sega Fan, 1991.
Yes, it is Sonic Sega Fan 1991. I don't know why. Is that? I cannot believe how long it has been since I made that intro. God, it's almost what? More than a year now. And it feels like it just came out. Well, anyway. That's really been like. Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, that was back at a time where I didn't even, now that I use SSF nowadays more often, still, anyway, welcome to the Sonic News Show, everyone. Hello to everyone watching right now. Welcome to the Sonic News Show. It's actually the first Sonic Show of autumn, I do believe. I think it was yesterday or today was the first, Sonic News Show in, autumn. It really feels like it's spring still rather than autumn. I really don't get where that came from, but I guess it's only fitting that I stick on Mushroom Hill Zone, considering when I played this track yesterday for that Mario gaming marathon I did but needless to say, that actually went very well. Well, in terms of stuff as in the start, and I actually did go for quite a while, a good 9.5 hours, although it was going to be 12 hours originally, but I decided since it wasn't really, like, Super Mario World was taking a good while, and also the viewership was starting to drop anyway, I figured I may as well stop early. I actually never dropped below 5 viewers during the entirety of that marathon, which that shocks me. That really shocks me. And I really don't get why you guys actually put up with me raging on Super Mario World when I 100%ed it. But needless to say, it was a show, not a show, but a stream that I'm not going to forget anytime soon. What really surprised me was 100%ing Super Mario World. Like I said, that's how I ended the stream. What surprised me even more was I not only 100%ed it, but I didn't need to go back and get any goals. I got every single goal through the first run. And no, I don't actually have a guest today. I should have really mentioned that earlier on, but no, I don't actually have a guest today for this week. But I do have one next week. And that week, it'll actually be, well, the guest I had previously. Yes. Who else? But, and just now occurred to me I had the volume really high up. I apologize if that was really loud to you guys. Yeah, it really would have helped if I had noticed the volume was literally at 35 instead of where I usually place it, which is like 20. But fixed. That did explain a lot, though. But in any case, it was rather notable to like I said, mention that 100% run of Super Mario World was something I'm not gonna forget anytime soon, and that was one hell of a marathon. But anyway, that's it with that on terms of the show. Moving on, Yeah, there isn't gonna be a guest for this week. In fact, Sonic Remix of Sonic Radio is gonna be on next week. That was to make up for what was going to happen this week, or not this week, but 2 weeks ago. Reason being is that well, stuff came up, pretty much. That is essentially what happened. I really don't. It's just one of those things you expect when one of those things you expect when life gets in the way. But in any case, it's really at least it's understandable. It's very understandable why that stuff happened, but nevertheless, it will be made up next week. So hopefully, hopefully that's all made up next week. I imagine it will, but but yeah, that was something. That was 2 weeks ago. So, and then the previous week I had took the week off. So, needless to say, that's something I'm not gonna forget anytime soon. So for now, yeah. But in the process of the 2 weeks, in the 2 weeks, there's been a lot, and I mean a lot of news. Some out of the blue, some expected, some that should have been out like I don't know, ages ago. But believe it or not, it actually wasn't because of the Tokyo Game Show. In fact, I don't really have anything from the Tokyo Game Show on the list, which is rather surprising. But in any case, no, not just Sonic. Also Nintendo Wii U. Wii U's gonna get a lot of attention, more than usual during this show. But it's mostly related to Sega. It's less related to Sonic and more towards Sega as a whole. The news. Although I will be talking about the whole thing as a whole. That whole conference thing. What was it? That direct conference. But we're gonna have a lot to bring up here. Not just from, like I said, the Wii U, but Sonic Adventure 2 and Nights into Dreams HD. Also had some pretty big stuff, and besides the Wii U, the only other thing that's gonna get a lot of discussion is All Stars Racing Transformed. Why? Well, what do you expect when you have such a big show or a big conference? Things like that's gonna show up. But in any case, might as well get this started, right? Also, there's been some big SonicNews show news. Some of you already know it, but especially if you follow me on Twitter. But for now, I will be able to announce that a site that really should have had more influence on the show is getting it now. But that's going to be talked about later on. But anyway, finally getting this little intro out of the way. Bayonetta 2. Boy, I really don't know where to start with that. I really don't know where to start with Bayonetta 2. But, very brief. I will mention, real quick, is the music too loud? Is the music too loud for everyone? And also ignore Skype for now. distracting. Let me turn it down a little bit. It is a little bit loud. And also, it's been playing for a while now. Let me see. There we go. But yeah, Bayonetta 2 was announced at the Wii U Direct conference thing. It was also teased with a little teaser trailer. I really don't get why. I really don't get why they what is it that Twitter buzzed like mad over this announcement, but deep down when you think about it, I can see why. Because with Bayonetta 2, no one saw this game coming. Everyone thought this game was going to be canceled, actually. You know, for a while now, we literally did think this game was canceled. It wasn't going to happen. And then out of the blue, boom, teaser trailer of it. You know, that was exactly what Nintendo needed. Bayonetta 2 was the game that Nintendo needed. But it's been discovered that not only has Bayonetta 2 been announced as a Wii U exclusive game, but the game isn't really going to be developed by Sega. In fact, they're only serving as advisors to the game. That's the extent of their role in Bayonetta 2. They're only serving as advisors to the game. But Platinum is making the game, and Nintendo is publishing it. Now, apparently, according to Richie, they didn't develop the first one. If they didn't, then, you know, yeah. But as far as I know, everyone's making this whole development thing a big deal. Like, Sega has no part in it, but they're not. That and the exclusivity or the exclusiveness of this game has been really, really weird. It's been really weird. Why everyone's ranting about the game being a Wii U exclusive is beyond me. I really don't see why people are complaining about this. That's actually a good thing, isn't it? Is that not a good thing? I really would consider a Wii U exclusive to be a good thing, considering Nintendo doesn't get those things. You know, it's not so much that there's no, you know. Yeah, I can see, I can understand that, but it's like, is it really, you know? I mean, yeah, it is sad that they have to buy a new system, but it's like, they don't have to get it immediately, you know? They don't have to get the system immediately, they don't have to get the game immediately. I mean, it's like in the case of, what's the best way to put it? Well, it's in the case of the Wii U, I guess, you know? I'm not getting it immediately, I don't really have a full-blown reason for getting it yet. But I can see why people would want Bayonetta 2, but it seems like if they have to spend extra money for a console, you know, they have to go spend extra money, that's not exactly something I would complain about. In terms of, like, I mean, I can understand why that'd be very inconvenient, you know, but it's not impossible. You know, by any stretch of the imaginations. I can definitely see, I can see to a degree why they would moan about it, but they would absolutely refuse is a different story. I mean, it's like how people were complaining that Terraria was moving over the consoles, you know, that the piece that the 360 would be gaining Terraria early next year. People complained about that. I mean, well, to be fair, it was for different reasons, but it's like it's a different console, you know. It's just, you know, branching out. Now, in the case of Bayonetta 2, it's more complicated, obviously. You know, it's more complicated. But I honestly don't think... Like, I can understand why they would moan about it, but if they're going to downright refuse to get this game, saying it's a bad thing, they're going to lose money for this thing and the next thing, I just don't see why... You know, I don't see how this would be a mad move at all. I can see why people will complain that they really don't want to get this, per se, you know, as along with the console. But when you think about it, this is exactly what Nintendo needed. They needed a third-party support, and they're getting it, you know. Whether it was a good move, whether it was a good move on Sega's part or not, it doesn't matter for Nintendo. That's exactly what Nintendo needed. You know, even if whether it's convenient or not, it was a genius move on Nintendo's part. It's just plain and simple. This is exactly what Nintendo needed. Getting more games like this will no doubt help its library. But in any case, we know Bayonetta 2 is going to be coming out. I don't believe we know exactly when yet. I can't recall. I think it wasn't supposed to come out until 2013. So it'll be a little bit, but for now, probably it could have been late 2012. I can't remember. Yeah, it's definitely not a launch title. I know that much. But yeah, Bayonetta 2. It's been announced. It's been teased, and it's been stirring up a bit of controversy. To be fair, though, that does bring a game some attention. Whether the controversy is good or bad, it's stirring up attention for the game, which means it might get some extra sales. Who knows? But in any case, that's pretty much how that game's going. It was definitely a shocker for a lot of people this year. Now, another game which has been getting a lot of attention as of late, Jet Set Radio HD. Namely because the game has just come out. It came out within the last week. And I was actually able to buy it, you know, since I had spare Microsoft points. I was able to get it on Xbox Live and buy it. And I was able to play it for a few weeks. Or not for a few weeks, but for a few hours. Not a very long period of time, but it was enough so I got a feel of the game. You know, I understood how the controls were like, what the whole point of the game is. Because I've never actually played the original Jet Set Radio before, which was on the Dreamcast. Was it? Yeah, it was on the Dreamcast. Because of this, I was able to get it on the 360. And not have any worries about, hey, you already own this game, why are you getting it again? In the case of Jet Set Radio, I didn't own this game already. So, I got it on 360, like I said, played it for a while. Honestly, I love the game. It's a great game. My only grudge is that the controls feel kind of stiff. And I'm probably if I'm noting about the controls, then they are noticeable. Because usually when it comes to controls, I never notice them. How stiff or how floaty they are. But in my opinion, you know, it does feel to me like the controls are a bit stiff. It's like I'm trying, and it's difficult to get momentum too. It feels like the physics in the game are rather strict. I guess is the way to put it. I don't really like that. You know, because the whole point of the game is you kind of need momentum so you can get the areas you need to get so you can tag certain areas. And yeah, the recognition with tagging walls isn't 100% accurate either. I constantly would try to tag a wall, even though I was right there, and would just pass by and it wouldn't register. You know, I really don't get why they didn't fix that stuff. And apparently there were also a few glitches in the game as well, from what I've been hearing, that the original didn't have. Apparently the music repeats when you get a game over. Originally didn't do that. Yeah. I really don't get why it did that, you know? It just baffles me to how they made the port a little bit worse. And I say a little bit for a reason, because they also added new stuff into it, which I think kind of evens it out a little bit. And that was the bonus features, including, yeah, fan-made tags, music from Jet Set Radio Future was actually added in there. Of course, there's also the achievements and trophies for those who care about that stuff. There was that documentary, I believe. They added quite a bit, and they added some new stuff in there, you know. But I do think that while the game has some good stuff in there, it does have a few bad things in there, and they are noticeable. But if you can get past all that, it's a great game. It really is. I suggest playing the tutorial mode first, simply because I really don't think you're gonna understand how the game works unless you play it a little, you know. And trust me, the tutorial is, in the case of Jet Set Radio, the tutorial is a must. And I don't really get why games don't really put in tutorials anymore. Like, you go into the story and they give you tutorial stuff immediately. But that's video games today for you. I kind of wish they did have a little tutorial mode nowadays. You don't really see that as much anymore. Don't mind me, I'm having a drink. Get you wondering why I was so silent all of a sudden. I haven't had a drink all day today, I don't believe, so hey, may as well have it now while I'm doing the show. Keep my voice and throat clean. I'm not gonna go anywhere further than that. But anyway, that's pretty much my opinion of Jet Set Radio, my first impressions of it. I don't really think that it's fair for me to give my summary of the game, my final opinion of it, because I really haven't gotten that far into it. I think I've only gotten to, I know I've unlocked the main trio that you have to unlock at the start with those little mini missions, and then the main story starts up, kicks into gear. I think I only got a few missions in to chapter 1, I believe. That's just me. I mean, I stopped after a while because my fingers were starting to get a little iffy. My joints and my fingers. So I would have played more, but you know. But for now, I really have an optimistic outcome for this game. I can't wait to play more of it when I get the chance. So, but moving on. All Stars Racing Transformed. I said there would be a lot of discussion about this, and there will be. A Facebook app has been launched about the game. Apparently this will be the homepage for All Stars Racing Transformed. I don't get why they did this, but especially considering not everyone has Facebook. I really would have just made a homepage, personally. But I think it was Sumo Digital's idea in this case, to just do a Facebook app. But in any case, they have been using it, and apparently they actually addressed a rather interesting question. They actually answered the question of why Sonic is in a car. And it's pretty much exactly what you think. Because Sonic's wanting to be fair, pretty much. It's really a sad day when they're having to answer that kind of a question. And apparently they've answered it before, too. For the first All Stars Racing. Which really, really baffles me. It just hints to me as to how this fan base can be sometimes. And it's embarrassing. But in any case, you know, if you want to check out the Facebook app, just go to the Sonic the Hedgehog page, I believe it was. That was hosting the app. Either that or Sega. I think it was more so Sega than, but you can find out because they did make a post about it. So, in any case, that was that. Now, third thing on the list, the achievements, the release date, and the price for Sonic Adventure 2 HD came out. For Nights HD, Nights into Dreams HD was priced and dated. Finally, we know exactly when Sonic Adventure 2 HD and Nights HD are coming out, and exactly for how much. Finally, we know what the hell is going on with the release date and the price for these games. Finally. It has taken them 1 to 2 months longer than they should have taken to announce the price and date of these two games. And they released the date and the price 2 weeks before they're supposed to come out. 2 weeks before the date they announced the date. Am I the only one that sees something wrong with that? As to how late they announced that? I can't be, because that's just too late. That's no time to, you know, promote it. There's no time in the world to, you can't do anything with that time window. You really can't. They brought out a trailer for the by the way, I forgot to mention that they did bring out a launch trailer for Jet Set Radio HD. But anyway, I do believe, for the record, Nights into Dreams HD and Sonic Adventure 2 HD will both be coming out. That's right, they're going to be having, they'll be coming out simultaneously. They will be coming out on PlayStation Network for $10 on October 2nd. Then they will be coming out for 800 Microsoft points each. Nights HD will be 800 Microsoft points. Sonic Adventure 2 HD will be 800 Microsoft points. Both of these games will be coming out on Xbox Live Arcade on Friday, October 5th. Like I said, for 800 Microsoft points. I was really pleased for this. Also, Sonic Adventure 2 HD's Battle DLC, Sonic Adventure 2 Battle DLC, will be 240 Microsoft points. I'm really pleased with the prices of these games. It's cheaper than Sonic Adventure 1 was. Sonic Adventure 1 was 1200 Microsoft points when I got it. That's ridiculous. That's stupid, you know. And then they bring out, to hear that Sonic Adventure 2 is going to be cheap, like almost half that amount, is freaking nice. Nice. Everything was 800 Microsoft points, and I adore that. I just absolutely enjoy that. That saves me 1600 Microsoft points that I was going to save up for the games in case they came out at full price. Maximum excuse me, maximum 1,600 Microsoft points. I was really pleased to see the difference in that. Yeah, a much cheaper price is an A in my book. And also, these headphones are really annoying me right now. I think it's getting to the point where I may have to get new, it's, pretty crazy. It's crazy. It really is. I should go ahead and announce this for those who are watching. To mark the release of Nights HD and Sonic Adventure 2 HD, I will be doing a release party stream on October 5th from 3 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time to 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. I'm doing this for those of you who are up early, can't wait for the games to come out, and you know, want something to do while they're waiting for it. As I said, I'll repeat again, 3 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time to 8 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time on Friday, October 5th will be the Nights HD and Sonic Adventure 2 HD release party stream. And it'll be taking place right here at the Sonic Paradox stream. So, get ready. You know, hopefully I'll see you then. I mean, if you're not, you know, don't worry. It's perfectly fine. You know, it's an early stream. You know, I don't do streams that early that often, so in any case, that's pretty much everything with that. You know, pretty thrilled about that. Now, what I'm not thrilled about is what Archie Comics is doing with their All-Stars Racing Transformed story adaptation. Apparently, Danica Patrick is going to be appearing in it. Yet, there is no evidence, no announcements that says Wreck-It Ralph is going to be in there. Now give me a moment here, because I think I'm pretty much going to make this my obligatory rant music. Because I do think this is rather fitting for the occasion. Okay. Rant music away. Now, let me explain. Instead of Wreck-It Ralph, who many people are considering to be the better choice of the two guest characters that have been announced so far, they have Danica Patrick in there instead. Why? Why is Sega constantly whoring this woman? As if she is the freaking god in this game. Why? I realize it's up to Disney, but if Sega can get Danica Patrick in all this stuff, why can they not get Wreck-It Ralph? You know, convince Disney to let them have Wreck-It Ralph in the comics. There's no point to this. There isn't. And this is a racer that doesn't win anything. Doesn't win anything. I mean, I'm all for promotion, but this is a racer that no one outside of the US will know. There's no promotion in this that's going to help them except in the US. And when I can tell, I don't really think it's helping much. Except the initial announcement. Otherwise, it's not getting anything. There has been next to nothing. Next to nothing, you know, about, you know, it's just no one outside the US would know of Danica Patrick. There's no point to promoting a worldwide game if they're including someone that is only in the US, would be known in the US. And someone who really, if they represent someone in NASCAR, from NASCAR, to form a partnership with, get someone who actually wins races and isn't a slut in GoDaddy.com commercials. I mean, like I said, I'm all for promotion, but you have to be you have to know exactly what you're promoting. You know, form a better partnership. You know, someone who would actually be able to represent better. She might be the best female racer, but in the case of NASCAR, it doesn't matter what if you're female or male. That does not matter. It really doesn't matter when it comes to NASCAR. I mean, yeah, she's female. I mean, I get it, but that shouldn't matter. She's a racer. She's a NASCAR racer. I'm not gonna watch. If I'm a fan of her, I'm not gonna be a fan of her just because she's female. I'm gonna be a fan of her because of her racing. She's considered good for her gender, yeah, but like I said, in NASCAR, gender doesn't matter. You know, that's entirely different at that point. The only reason gender would matter in there because she's the only female racer in NASCAR. But other than that, nothing else. It really shouldn't matter. I don't even get why she's getting praise. Just because she is a female that just happens to be not getting last. And I wouldn't consider her a good racer. You know, I don't even think she's gotten to the top 20 so far this season. I just don't see her as a good racer. I mean, all it would take is one win. One win. That's it. Third place. I don't recall her ever finishing in third place. I don't recall her ever finishing in third place. But in any case, I don't think Danica Patrick should have been the choice to promote this game. And I could think of better racers than her. I could definitely think of better racers in NASCAR than her. And it's just, like I said, I would definitely consider Wreck-It Ralph a better choice. But it's all up to Disney if they want, you know, something better. You know, if they want them in the comics. I mean, it's just a story adaptation if they have to have Danica Patrick in it. That's my whole point. Why is she in there? You know, it's bad enough she's in the game, but now she's gonna be in the Archie comics too. Which makes her appearance is gonna be, what involvement is she gonna have in the story then? And Transform? I'm getting a bit fearful. And the Indianapolis 500 is just a different story. In the Indy 500, now there's where she was good at. I will admit, she was great in there. But NASCAR, on the other hand, you know, it's different. You know, NASCAR and the Indy 500 is a different story. And I would have no problem with her appearance if it wasn't shoved down our throats. She's going to be the announcer in the game. She's going to be as a selectable character. She's been promoting the game Sega Racers, which is great. I will admit that. You know, if it was just that, I'd have no problem with it. But now we find out she's going to be in the Archie comics too. She's getting shoved down our throats more than we really should. When it's Wreck-It Ralph, then that really should be getting the attention, since Sonic's going to be in Wreck-It Ralph anyway. Like I said, you know, I just said, Richie, that she would be, you know, like I said, I mean, I have no I'm not even gonna bother explaining. You're not getting my. It seems like no one's getting my point. But anyway, you know, I have no problem with promotion. I have no problem with partnership. It's just, can we just handle it better? You know, that's all I'm asking. And yes, I do have a point. But anyway, it's really... No, it's got nothing to do with her not being the best. It's got nothing to do with that. That was one reason, but I just said I had another reason. For marketing, isn't what she only... She's more not even known for her racing, even in the U.S. She's more known for GoDaddy commercials, for being a whore in GoDaddy commercials. She's more notable in that, actually, than NASCAR. Because I had no idea that she had been in third place. That's not bad. You know. Yeah, what Pineapple Pod? Pineapple Pod just proved my point in that no one outside of the U.S. would know who Danica Patrick is. I've spoken to a lot of British people. A lot of people, you know, overseas. They don't know who this woman is. And this game's supposed to be a worldwide game. No, exactly. She does not fit in this game. It's not that the marketing is bad, per se. And no, a British racer, someone who would be known around the world, not British racer. You know, it's not so much, like I said, that she's just not fitting in this game. You know, and not just because of the fact that even if she was a great racer, you know, she isn't known for that. You know, she isn't known. She just doesn't fit. That's not my... Richie, that's not the point. Why? That's like saying Michael Jackson should be, you know, a world musician, you know? Someone has to be exclusive all over the world. You can't have that. Nothing. Period. You know, well, not because everyone's is fictional in the game and she's real. No, it's not that. You know, that's not the reason why she's, you know, doesn't fit. Like I said, it's because no one other than the U.S. would know her, and those in the U.S. know her more, you know, from GoDaddy.com ads than actual racing. Because of how good, you know, it's like saying there's going to be a world musical competition. There's a reason why Michael Jackson was known around the world. There's a reason why, if I'm not correct, I think Dale Earnhardt was known around the world. She fits because she's a racer. That's okay. So let's just put in Mario in a Sonic game because he's in a platformer. Pretty much. Let's just put in Mario in a Sonic game because he's in a platformer. That's how does it that? It's not as simple as that. That's like saying Mario and Sonic are at the Olympic Games because they're both in platformer games, and not because they're just legends. I just said I think Dale Earnhardt was a Dale Earnhardt was a racer known around the world. I think Kyle Petty was a racer known around the world. There are quite a few of them. Yeah, period, I think. But at least I'm giving examples. At least I know some names. And this is from someone who actually has watched NASCAR in the past. I'm actually a bit of a fan of NASCAR. You know. And the fact that I'm actually saying a NASCAR driver does not fit in this game is rather telling. You know. You would think I'd be biased about it, but no. And like I said, they don't know, you know. I would have no problem with this. I'm not gonna repeat myself. I made my point pretty clear that if she's not really fitting for the game, and no, I'm not just complaining. I don't just complain, and I have a point. I just explained a billion points just now. Just because you disagree with me does not mean that I have no point. I have no problem you disagreeing with me, but saying I have no point, I never complain. Whenever I complain, you know, I never complain if I don't have a point. You know, she isn't known around the world. Yeah, that's a point. And I even explained other things, too, to explain that point. And it's not even just that. I just said she's not fitting in it, either. You know, she's supposed to be a racer. Yeah, I could understand the racer being in the game, except no one knows her from the racing. She is more known for GoDaddy. Well, yeah, Shadow Reeks does have a point there. She's known around the world now because of Sega, but I mean, like, they know her name, but as in what she does, I don't think people know yet. That's the thing. I mean, that's pretty much the way I saw it. You know, this is just me. I mean, this doesn't even count. This is just All Stars Racing transformed the game. This doesn't even count what the original thing is, which was her in the comics. You know, this is the comics. She shouldn't even be in the comics. She raced in England too. I don't see how that just proves anything, though. That doesn't mean people know her more. That doesn't mean she is known more. That just means she raced in England. That has nothing to do with how well people know her. What were the crowds there? How many people watched? You know, how big is the race there? That doesn't mean that she's more known there. That just means she raced there. Again, that's like saying, you know, Sonic is an athlete at the, well, that's not a really good comparison. Let me think for a second. That's like saying that Michael Jackson is an English singer because he's performed in England. You know, I don't know why I keep saying Michael Jackson, but he's the immediate one that comes to mind. She won second place in England. Well, it's England, you know. It's like I said, these tracks are different. It's different people, different competitors, some better, some worse. You know, it's different. The Indy 500 does not equal NASCAR. The race in England does not equal NASCAR. If she has recognition there, then why has no one that I know from overseas? I've heard nothing that suggests anyone from England has recognition there. And if she does have recognition there, why do people you know, not recognize this woman, you know? I'm finished explaining my point. I don't think she's rather fitting in the game, because as a worldwide game, a game that's being released worldwide on multiple platforms, and I know racer fans. Like I said, I'm a racer fan. Whatever recognition she has, it's apparently a very, very small one. A very, very small recognition. That's not enough that I would consider worth counting, to be honest. I mean, a small pinch of recognition, you know, isn't much, to be honest. At least it's not something to make a big deal out of. But degree of skill, a bit. I didn't say she was the worst racer. I just said she wasn't the best. I wasn't even making a big deal out of it until this whole argument started up. I was not really making a big deal out of it. In fact, I would have moved on by now. But in any case, you know, because it's a game that I would be buying. And I really hope that I started saying that because guess what? I'm talking about the topic. Then she's going to be an announcer, and it's going to be shoved down my throat there too. She is going to be heard no matter what I do. Well, what if I can't shut her off because Sega doesn't have that option to? We don't know that yet. If I can't shut her off, then maybe. I'm not even really. It's not even that big of a deal. It's just the more Sega's making, the more Sega goes on and on about this woman, the more irritating it gets. That's all. It's like she's not that big of a deal. Yeah, what Japan Rose said. I'm making the same points over and over again. And this is all because she was in the Archie comics. That's it. You know, it makes her appearance even more unfitting that way. And the fact that if she's going to be in the story adaptation, that really hints that apparently she's going to have some tie-in to the game's story. Which makes it even more... It's just... I hope they put Wreck-It Ralph into that story. You know, if not in the comics, definitely in the game. That would just make sense. You know, if they're gonna have Wreck-It Ralph is already in the game. You know, it's not a bias. I don't even care for Disney movies as of late. It's not a bias. If I had a bias, I would be praising Danica Patrick because she's in NASCAR, and I'm a NASCAR fan. But anyway, I'm through talking about this. I'm moving on. Actually, speaking of, well, it's kind of funny I did bring up Wreck-It Ralph anyway. There was actually more new posters seen of Wreck-It Ralph and Sonic. Of Sonic there. There were actually new Wreck-It Ralph posters and trailers seen just recently, and Sonic was actually in them. Apparently, he's gonna have more in the movie than I thought. Which is rather amazing, you know. At first we thought it was just going to be one cameo, and that would obviously have lines, but apparently he's going to have even more than I thought. And the posters, apparently the Wreck-It Ralph, you know, that movie, they are really promoting the fact that Sonic's going to be in it quite a lot. Sonic, there was one poster where Sonic was at the front, and there was another poster where Eggman was in the background. right to the behind the right, like, yeah, right in the background. Literally. You know, I was really surprised at this, and actually I can turn off this rant music, which was rather fitting for the occasion at hand. But no, they're not throwing in Mario because apparently Nintendo's full of themselves. Let me find another. Yeah, that music went for a while because of how long that argument went. But yeah, Bowser's gonna be in it, but not Mario. Actually, we do not know why Mario is in it because Nintendo wanted more money for it. They wanted more money for Mario. I believe they actually explained that in an interview with was it Game Informer? What was the magazine I got? It was either Game Informer or Nintendo Power. I completely forgot. What the hell? Where's the... I can't find the magazine I had. Oh, here it is. Game Informer, that's right. Okay. But yeah, it was really weird. Seeing Sonic gain so much attention in that movie. You know, I really love how Sega has been with it, you know. I'm really amazed that they really have been giving Sonic a lot of attention, more than any other cameo that I believe is going to be in the movie. Sorry, I'm just having a bit of my drink real quick. Yep, what Pineapple Pod said. Eggman, unfortunately, is going to be mute in Wreck-It Ralph. Mike Pollock confirmed that he was never approached with any lines for the movie, so I think it is pretty safe to say that Eggman will be silent. But Sonic will be talkative. Roger Craig Smith will be voicing Sonic in Wreck-It Ralph. So, at least Sonic will be getting some voicing. And even if he didn't, just the fact that he's in the movie at all and even getting this much attention is more than enough in my book, you know. I'm happy about that. Definitely, I'm definitely liking that, you know. Well, I can't really read the article right now since, well, I'm doing a show, but later on, after the show ends, definitely. And I'm still debating on what to play. Yeah, what Japan said, Mario isn't going to be in it. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If there's another reason, there's another reason. But I can't look at this source right now. I can get the, oh god, it's Kotaku. I can get the link now, but I can't really look at this right now because it would be out of touch. But well, not really out of touch, but like I want to keep the show going. You know, keep the show going smoothly, and what else? I think there's some other stuff I need to do anyway. So I don't really have a whole lot of time, a whole lot of time, but. And plus, I have limited use. My CPU is pretty high up right now, so I don't want to bring up the CPU even more with another tab. But anyway, where was I at? Oh right, yeah. Oh right, the Sonic Digital trading cards. Oh god. Yes, Sega released more digital trading cards. They, I forget who it was that was with Sega to publish them. I can't recall the exact name of it, but they did announce these like midway last week. I really, well, yeah, Sonic will have an additional scene in the movie. I even mentioned earlier that apparently Sonic will have more appearances in the game, or not the game, but the movie than we thought at first. But yeah, trading cards. It's on Sega's official website, I believe. I think either in their official website or their blog. Um, you can get 2 packs now, but you have to pay for more for digital trading cards. No physical releases. You know, it's rather amusing that to see that Sega is actually trying to do something like this. And apparently they also changed the names of the flickies too. If you can believe it, the flickies, the various flickies actually had names. And in the digital trading cards, they changed those names, switched them around. Which apparently Sonic Stadium figured out and wanted to point out. Personally, I really don't see the point in these trading cards. I mean, if you're one of those people that like to collect that kind of stuff, you know, by all means go for it. But for me, I don't really see a point, you know, any point at all. But that's just me, you know. Oh right, the Wii U conference summary. Yeah, it shouldn't have been a card game, but the Wii U conference, Nintendo conference. Not just playing cars. Or yeah, cards. I really think they could have. I think Richie has been infected with the crab's bomb again. Fucking injured me. Fuck. Anyway. What was, I completely just lost my train of thought there. But actually, the Wii U Nintendo Direct Conference happened last week. No, 2 weeks ago, actually. It was okay. You know, it was okay. I'm not saying it was bad, but it wasn't good either. I mainly looked to the conference for the information about the price and date of the Wii U. The specs were a bonus. And they did talk a little bit about the specs. I still want to hear about the online stuff, though. We know nothing about it. I want to know if Mario Kart Wii, if I stick it into a Wii U, will work 10 times better online than it did on the Wii. I don't think it would actually work that way, but anyone can dream. I just hate, you know, how my biggest grudge with the Wii was the online on it. It's annoying. I'm hoping they fix that, but they're not saying anything about the online. And I'm not exactly thrilled about that either. I want to know more about the online. You know, they really haven't talked about it. That's the only... is that the only thing? I think that's the only thing they haven't talked about, as far as I know. It baffles me. But, yeah. I'm so professional that I'm having a smoothie right in the middle of my show. Yeah, I actually already read your post on Kotaku. It was all about the online features and stuff like that, about what Nintendo should fix. I mean, well, yeah, I actually did. When you posted it, I saw it because I was there. I remember when you initially posted the link to it in the Skype chat, I saw it, but Yeah, I wasn't actually referring to what Nintendo should fix. I was referring to what Nintendo should actually talk about. The online features is really, I think, as far as I know, is the only thing Nintendo hasn't brought up yet. Before the Wii U actually came out, which really baffles me. If they're scared to, they should. The online, they have every reason to be scared to, because it's a bad, they really didn't do too hot with the Wii's online on there. I don't think it's that they're trying to stay as far away from possible from that stuff. It's that they are embracing it partly, but not exactly doing the best at gaining those features in there. They don't want to be. They are taking inspiration from the PS3 and 360, but not downright copying them, so to speak. And what they are trying to put in, what they did get their inspirations from, and what they're trying to put in there that inspired them, they're not exactly doing the best job at it. Is what I'm thinking, and that's my thought. That is a good point. Nah, it's Nintendo. I mean, it's a Nintendo. They wouldn't, would they? I mean, they do give the 3DS updates, but that's not really for the home menu. And no, 360's dashboard is not aggravating. I find it very, very convenient. I can just get to my game, bing, bang, boom. I mean, the ads are annoying as hell, but I can get to everything, bing, bang, boom. That's just me. But yeah, they didn't actually change the dashboard, I think. But yeah, the dashboard is, I'd say, convenient. I think Nintendo's is the only one I could say is slightly convenient. I think which one do I think is just what would I consider runner up to the 360's dashboard? I guess the PS3's, because Nintendo has everything all cluttered up in their Wii menus, home menu. When you're trying to find stuff like the system settings and everything, it's all cluttered up. Where Sony has everything laid out. You know. I think that's just me. I think I would, in order of dashboard or console menus in terms of, you know, convenience, simplicity, and looks. I'd say the 360 that is number one, the PS3 is number two, and the Wii is number three. And this comes from someone who owned the Wii first. I got a Wii first, then a 360, then a PS3. In the span of 6 years? No, 7 years. No, because the Wii came out in 2006, didn't it? The Wii came out in 2006, and I got it around launch. So it had been 7 years. No, it's 6. You know, it's 3.14. That's what it is. It's been 3.14 pi days since I've. Okay, anyway. No, it's 6 years. It's been 6 years since I got the Wii. But it's rather amusing. To think that I got the Wii first, yet it's last on the list on the dashboards. But anyway. But yeah, it's really. Yes, I see. That was actually mean. I'm thinking straight right there. It's just that I don't think it's that the Wii wasn't good. That the motion controls was revolutionary, but I hope they don't take that one step further, like they did with like 360 did with Kinect. You know, I'm fine with motion controls as long as that doesn't become the thing that replaces, controllers, actual button controllers, because I find that a lot better than motion controls. I don't want to play a video game to tire my arm out and rip it off. I want to play a video game to play a video game. You know? When I play games, I don't expect to have my arm get torn off and soreness. You know? That's just how video games have been to me for the last 15 years. Around that. Well, it's not that I swing so hard, it's that they require you to swing a lot. The voice commands on the Kinect, I don't really like the voice commands. Well, it's good for convenience, but I can see you making a fool out of yourself when you're at a party or something. You know. And plus I can see you accidentally saying the wrong things. Yeah, it's okay, it's a nice little feature that's added in, but it's not something I would consider, you know, needed. But I just don't want them to make that the big thing that it requires in games, you know. Because you're not playing a game now. That's not really a game then. But, anyway. Back to All-Stars Racing Transformed again. Apparently it's not going to be at the Eurogamer Expo, which really, really, really baffles me. The game's coming out in 2 months and it's not going to be at the Eurogamer Expo. You'd think they'd be, you know... You'd think with all they've been making a big deal with this game, you'd think it would be there, you know? You'd think it would be at, like, at least all the major not conferences, but expos. And I do believe the Eurogamer is a big, is one of the major conferences. Why do I keep saying conferences? Expos. I mean, if I remember correctly, was All Stars Racing Transformed even at Gamescom this year? I think it was. In fact, I'm almost certain it was. So it wasn't. That's what I... See, it wasn't at Gamescom. It's not going to be at Eurogamer. See... Oh, that's in November. Oh, you mean November. Right. That's just going to be weird. I just don't get how the game is going to be coming out in 2 months. You really would think Sega would be going all out with this game, you know? I mean, hell, if they could promote Danica Patrick as much as they have, they could promote the game she's in, you know? That's a promotion problem I see right there. They're promoting Danica Patrick being in the game more than the game itself. Well, no, it's not. It's not a mainstream game, but it is really their only game they're gonna be releasing anytime soon. She might be a celebrity, but is in a game, going to be in Sega's game. You would think that Sega would promote that game then. You know, at least not. I don't know why they would want to. But see, that's the thing. They're not going to get a successful game on just NASCAR fans. You know, there aren't that many of them. I can tell you that much. There aren't that many NASCAR fans. In fact, I would consider the NFL more of a demographic to target than NASCAR fans. There are lots of NFL fans in this country. NASCAR, not exactly. I mean, it's advertising nonetheless, but I really wouldn't consider it, you know, I think they would, if that is exactly what they're targeting, I would really want them to spread out a lot more than that. Because they're not going to get a successful game with just them. True, a football player wouldn't exactly promote a racing game, but that's because, you know, actually, no. I would agree if any sales help, but when it comes to the situation Sega's in right now, they do need a lot of sales. They need this game to at least do good, better than they expect. You know, it might be better than nothing, but in Sega's case, they kind of need something that's better than nothing. You know, more than better than nothing. Because they're really low on funds. You know. The better the game sells, the better Sega is going to be doing. Sega really needs this game to sell pretty damn well. Maybe not on the scale of like the classic Sonic games, but at least make it sell to the point where they're satisfied, you know? They feel like, yeah, I think that will help us out. But they do need the game to sell pretty well, you know? If they're going to get anywhere with this. Really, I don't even know why. Like, a lot of this discussion about All-Stars Racing Transform would be more worth it when I'm thinking about doing a All-Stars Racing Transform themed show, SonicNews show next month. Now that I think about it, I could potentially make that the season opener. Season 4 opener. I could do that, but I'll think about that when I'm not in the middle of the show. But anyway, where was I? Oh yeah. By the way, in regards to Bayonetta 2, Steve Lycett did confirm that Bayonetta will not be in All-Stars Racing Transformed. And we do now know that All-Stars Racing Transformed will be a Wii U launch title. But it will only be for the Wii U. That's a launch title. You will be able to get it 15 days sooner if you get it for the 360 or the PS3 or all the other consoles. But for the Wii U, it's coming out 15 days later to coincide with the Wii U's release. That's a good move on Sega's part right there. I think a launch title would be perfect for. When was the last time Sega had a launch title? A launch title on a console. I can't recall. When I think back to when the Wii came out, they had a chance of making Sonic and the Secret Rings a launch title, but I think stuff happened and it wouldn't come out until months afterwards, like around 3-4 months after the console came out. But as far as I know, I don't think Sega has been able to get a console, been able to do a launch title with a console in God knows how long. That's actually something new with Sega, you know. That's something you don't generally see often. Which is weird. You think that's Sega for you, but it's pretty cool though that the game is going to be a Wii U launch title. Again, that's going to help Nintendo out a lot. It's another third-party game. But also, this is this is another reason why I did mention that Sega's in a really bad position right now. They had been on a very spiral descent with stocks following the announcements that came with that Wii U Direct conference that Nintendo held. Sega's stocks are really tanking this year. They are not making that much money at all. It's really not looking good. I honestly thought Sega was doing fine at the beginning of the year, but it seems that the more information that comes out in Sega's situation, it seems that the more I get worried. You would think Bayonetta 2 would help Sega since it helped Nintendo, but instead, Sega's stocks went down the tubes after the announcements. For the record, for anyone who doesn't know, Sega's parent company is Sega Sammy, and usually that's where the stocks come from, I do believe, in regards to Sega's financial budget or whatever, financial stuff. If I recall correctly. And like I said, the stocks for Sega has really been tanking. And they kept tanking for multiple days. I don't even think they've gone back. As far as I've heard, they have not gone back up yet. So, as far as I know, they're still in that rapid descent. Which is really sad, Wait, Sega had the Marvel license at one point? I'm really derping right now. I didn't even know they ever had the Marvel license. Huh. Well, in any case, it's really sad what's happening to Sega this year. It's like I said during well, I'll mention in a moment since it's gonna be the next topic anyway. It must have been a little while since it must have been a while since Sega had that license, because I had no idea. Oh, that's probably okay. So that's why. But yeah, I was mentioning. I mentioned this a couple of days ago, but as I do every year around New Year's, usually New Year's Eve, every year I always release a big article, detailing uh how I thought the year went for Sonic and Sega and SP, etc. You know, and I'll give a report card on each of them. I gave a report card on the Sonic fan base. I gave a report card on how Sega handled this year. I gave a report card about Sonic himself, the franchise. I gave a report card about. I think there was something else I gave a report card on. I'm thinking this all from memory, but you know, I also give an overall, opinions on uh, how they went, and I usually grade them, usually D, B, C, or A plus, whatever. But the past 2 years, I've been giving Sega some pretty high marks. I'd say they haven't gotten any lower than a B because of the way they've been able to handle these past couple of years. Not having, haven't making too many mistakes. This year, it seems to be the exact opposite. They're just making loads of mistakes and having loads of problems and, financial troubles. And it's like, needless to say, don't expect a very positive report card for Sega this year. I will detail. You'll find out more about the whole report card, and you'll find out exactly what I'll think in a few months when December rolls around, and then we get to the end of the month. But for now, things can still change. There's still the rest of September, there's still October, and there's still November, and there's still December. We still got All Stars Racing Transformed, we still got Sonic Adventure 2 HD, we still got Nights into Dreams HD, Jet Set Radio HD just came out. We still technically have that a little bit. They still have a chance, But in any case, that's how I feel about, Sega as of late. We'll see, we'll see how Sega does for real. Like, let a few more months pass, see how things go. Could be a turnaround, could not be. We just have to find out. But in any case, the final topic for the night, well, technically two topics, so to speak. I was actually on Sonic Radio these past 2 weeks. When I wasn't on the Sonic News show, I did make up for it to a degree by being on Sonic Radio with Shadow Remix and Sonic Remix, Sonic R TV and Sonic R Show. What was it? I got involved in I was dared. Shadow Remix challenged me that if I did not say thongs at all during my show a few days later, which is this was a couple weeks ago, that I would have to take part in a trivia challenge, a trivia competition between me and Sonic Remix to see who would come out on top. Now, here's the catch. I didn't know about this challenge until Sonic Remix brought it up during the show. I said thongs 10 minutes in, not knowing that there was actually a challenge, that I wasn't supposed to say that. And immediately after I did that, Sonic Remix tells me that I just failed the challenge and I gotta take part in the trivia competition, which I ended up doing, which was the first appearance on the show. I do believe. Although I do believe I actually appeared an episode before then. I think it was the week before that. I've actually been appearing on each week to some degree. First one was just normal appearance. The second time was that trivia contest, which I actually won by half a point. Believe it or not, I won by only one half. I only won by half of a point, 0.5. That's how much I won by. Not really something to brag about, but something. It's better than I expected, which was going to be a loss, a humiliating loss. So, needless to say, I can't completely complain. That was definitely better than I expected. But in any case, there was that appearance, and then just a few days ago, I was on the show again. I actually did, because I actually presented a new challenge after, going through the trivia competition, that if there was anyone who complained about anything, I'm exempt from the challenge because I was the one that made it, so, I don't count. But, I was actually, my challenge was, if whoever was that complained about anything Sonic-y, that's a word now, would have to be on the show, and they would have to put up with music that they hate. Sonic music they hate. That challenge failed the first week, so I decided, this few days ago, to try again. Extend the challenge. Excuse me. Which I did. I was having a lot of fun, though, with the, it's a fun time. I really have fun. But, and I just now found out, that I can add my, Xbox 360 gamer tag and Wii, 3DS, and DS friend codes on, my, profile, list of them. And Steam. Oh, that's gonna help a lot. Anyway, yeah, contributions to the site, yeah. I'm gonna go look at all that once I finish the show, but I did have a great time on Sonic Radio, and I'll gladly return again if they're up for it. Whenever they want me on there, I'll be on there, as long as I'm free, and I usually am, because I have no life. But it's just I have really thought about this, and I'll mention this more in a bit, but I have actually thought, about having a show on there, But before I do elaborate on more about that, I should mention real quick, since it's directly related to my show anyway. The Sonic News Show now has an official Facebook page. It is www.facebook.com/The Sonic News Show. No spaces. There you can find out pretty much everything about the show. Its history, the story of how it came to be. Soon I'll be seeing about adding the episode guide if I can. There will be some exclusive videos I'm going to be adding there, including one that just came to me. This idea just came to me earlier, but I am going to be adding a behind the scenes video on exclusive Facebook behind the scenes video on there soon. I'm going to be adding a lot of pictures showcasing, the show's past. I looked back at the earlier and I just discovered that I actually had an intro, a little animation that Halo made around this time. Well, not quite around this time, but around summertime of 2011. He made a little intro for Sonic News intro that I keep forgetting that I even have, because, well, it was something just out of the blue, and I didn't really have any reason for it, and now I might actually have to find a purpose for it. But in any case, I have actually thought, about putting the show on like Sega Sonic Radio or Radio Sega or Sonic Radio. But the thing about the Sonic News Show is that it's not really a show that fits on there. It's perfect for the audio, and the music. I can put music in the background while I'm speaking, but, which reminds me, I really haven't done that now, have I? Wait a moment. I completely forgot to do that. There we go. I completely forgot to do that. But anyway, I've thought over and over again about putting the show, on that stuff, but the thing is that it has no timeline, end time. And I would kind of need an end time for that purpose, for more convenience, and in fact, like I said, it's technically an internet radio station, This is just a stream. It's a podcast show, but it's a stream. I can go on a little bit longer than normal shows. It makes it unique that way, but admit it, who would want to stick around for 3 hours to watch the show? 3 hours is kind of a long time, for a podcast show on a internet radio station. And if anything, if I were to put on a show, like if I were to do a show, not only would I have to, get extra, not only would I have to make sure I get more the technology, which it wouldn't be too much, but not only would I have to do that, but I would also have to completely differ that show from this one. It would definitely give Sonic Paradox a nice representation on Sexon Radio and Radio Sega, but it really depends on what it was as a show. It's definitely worth getting though. Like I'm all for it. If someone let me put it this way. If someone were to approach me, and I have actually been approached to do this. If someone were if Sonic Radio or SSR or Radio Sega were to approach me and say, "Hey, do you want to come do a show? Do a podcast show on our station?" I would give it some serious thought. And I have been doing that. I've actually been doing that even before, for quite a while now. Not exactly a year, but in the past 6 or so months, I've actually thought about bringing the show on to our internet radio station. That's at one of the Sonic or Sega or Sonic internet radio stations that are out there. And I've actually thought about, if I wanted to, I could actually make the show, hell, if I wanted to, I could make the show air on all 3 stations, You never know. I mean, for a time, Radio Redux, from Sonic Rex actually aired on SSR and Radio Sega at the same time. I mean, you never know. Now it's just for a period of time. But as for my show, I honestly haven't figured out yet what to do, It's not that I don't want to do it, it's just I haven't figured out what I want to do yet, How would I go about this? Like, would people put up with, seeing this show? I wouldn't have to worry about the visuals, or the internet radio stations. I honestly don't know. I have no idea how I would go about this, and I would also be a little bit concerned because I know nothing about the internet radio station handling. I know nothing about this. I know nothing. It's not my strong suit. So I would have a lot of problems, That's the thing. I'd have to constantly look towards people to help me out here because I don't know what the hell I'm going to be doing. So I'd have to contend with some things, It's not so much that like I said, it's not so much I don't want to do it. It's that I just don't know how I'm going to do it, and it's so, it's just I don't know how to do it and when to do it, what to do, That's all. I just don't have a plan yet. That's pretty much what it is. But in any case, for the time being, www.facebook.com/The Sonic News Show, no spaces. You can find the official Facebook page. I'm really, really thrilled to finally get that up because Facebook did need some Sonic News Show love on there. Twitter has been pretty much the site. It's like I mentioned this in the Skype chat that SP has, just us higher up members, privileged members, but I generally reserve Twitter for public stuff. Twitter is my public one, And Facebook is my more private one that I usually use less often for, you know, closer friends and people I know better, know a lot, and, you know, that way I can so I can monitor what everyone's doing a lot better, and etc. etc. It's I use that for more private reasons, but I noticed that everyone was making a page for their projects. You know, everyone was making a page for their projects. You know, in their sites. Sonic Rex had a page for their site. The Sonic Show had a page for their site. Has a page for their site. Sonic Retro has a page for their site. Paradox has a page for its site. You know, and some people have pages for their shows. I believe Saturday Night Sega has a page for their show. The Sonic Show Live, I think, has one. I think. There's quite a few shows that have their own pages, official pages, and so I figured I'd join in the same. I essentially made the page, although it is the official Sonic News Show Facebook page, it's affiliated with the SP page. And I do mention that it is Sonic Paradox's flagship show. You know, it's, you know, also, like I said, part of Sonic Paradox, you know. And I even made a post about the new page and the SP Facebook page. But yeah, that's pretty much how it all went, you know. It was one hell of a page I'm setting up, and soon it's going to have some nice archive. But, Ham is telling me in Skype, Donnie, you do well to learn not to curse so much. Well, Ham, the only way I can respond to that is by saying that while the internet, I do curse a lot, in real life, not so much. You'd be surprised at how different, how much less I curse in real life than I do here on the internet. You would be surprised. I think it's like I think it's just because with the internet you feel like you can you have a little bit more freedom in what you can say, so to speak. But in any case, that's it. You know, that's the show. I've talked about everything I need to talk about, and it's hard to believe that I've been going for an hour and 30 minutes or an hour and 40 minutes all by myself. I think that's the longest show I've done in a while with just me. So it shows that even if it's just me, not every show is going to be 30 minutes long, whether it's just me or not. Sometimes you'll get long shows regardless. But it's mostly because I've been getting off topic a lot. And I blame crabs. I blame crabs. But no, I really hope that everyone enjoyed watching this. This was a great show. It was a successful one. I know that there was that big argument that Richie and I had halfway in there with the whole Danica Patrick thing, but note that it's not really, you know, don't worry. We do have these debates often. They're not exactly arguments, they're just debates. Nothing unusual. You know. It's, well, Richie, of course I'm your homie. You're the one that hired me to be news reporter on SP in the first place. You are the reason why I'm a news reporter. So, yeah, fun fact. Man, it still feels like just yesterday Richie hired me, actually. Damn, can't believe it's been almost 2 years. Cannot believe it's been almost 2 years since Richie hired me to be SP's news reporter. Holy shit. God damn, I think I still have those those PMs when we were sorting things out too. Man. God damn. But I will clarify, if anyone wants to know what those PMs are, I'm not saying. I ain't saying what those PMs are, just that they were PMs where Richie and I sorted things out. That's it. I ain't saying what's in them. What exactly was said. But I will say this much. It's really been a great 2 years. I mean, I completely forgot that the anniversary's come next month, actually. Man, 2 years of Sonic News for me. Holy crap. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. I'm too busy having nostalgia, sorry. I will see you guys next week with Sonic Remix of Sonic Radio. Yes, I will not be alone next week. This all assumes that there will be stuff to talk about, and I wouldn't be surprised if there was. You know. And for all you know, I may be on Sonic Radio again later this week. You know. So if you don't see me on Sonic Radio this week, you'll probably see me next week for the Sonic News Show. Like I said, provided there's actually stuff worth talking about. But knowing Richie, he will probably give me stuff to talk about anyway. Because crabs. But it's a long story. Long story. Hopefully this tinnitus... I still actually have tinnitus, by the way. This does convince me that I can do a show even with tinnitus, so... Maybe, just maybe, I'll let the tinnitus... But, yeah. God damn, I can't believe I've been here for 2 years now. Holy shit. Anyway... Take care, guys. I will see you next week with Sonic Remix of Sonic Radio. Hopefully, we won't be talking about tongs as much. But if we do, you've been warned. For now, though, this is SSF signing out. I don't know why I'm saying this for my own show. Usually I say that for gaming streams and not for the Sonic News Show. But in any case, take care, guys. Have a great week. I do apologize for lack of Sunday Sonic Live today. There will be a big stream race, by the way, between NTom64 of Hellfire Comms and Jamie Eggman of the Sonic Show next week, next Sunday. I believe is the day of the race, and it will be the last Sonic Show live stream that will be taking place. Last episode. There's gonna be something that will take its place, though, I do believe. But anyway, there wasn't any Radio Redux, there wasn't any Sonic Show Live today, there wasn't any Sonic Rex Live. My show was the only Sunday Sonic Live show that took place, so I've been real loner today. Who would have guessed? But in any case, thanks for watching, guys. I will see you next week. Take care, everyone. And I just hit my hand on my laptop tray. Ow. Take care, guys.